welcome back to Dancers Doing Stuff. We had a little break for Thanksgiving week, so this is officially episode 16, I believe, which is so cool. I've gotten to speak to so many awesome dancers, and today is a very, very special friend of mine. I get to speak with my friend Kate, who is the reason that we picked this day, which we will probably say, I won't give it away, but I have her saved in my phone as Santa. And so we thought we had to do a December episode because we wanted to kick off the holiday season. So we're getting crafty in a holiday way today, but it's mostly because she saved as Santa, and we'll tell you about that later. But she's an amazing dancer. She's from the Boston area, but we met when we are living in New York. She has moved to LA and is doing a lot of cool stuff out there. And she's one of my best and closest friends. So I'm excited to share a video. She doesn't share videos very often. And also, if you like the picture that is of this episode, make sure you comment or say something about it, because I think it's a great picture, and she archived it on her Instagram, so I had to use it for the promo picture so you guys could see it, because it is literally such a cute picture, and she's gorgeous and she's a great dancer. So I'm going to show you the video. Yay! I love watching her move. So without further ado, let me bring her in. Yay! And we already have a friend on YouTube saying hello.
Love that for us.
Yes, awesome. Well, thank you for being here. I almost just hit my headphones out of my ears. Welcome, welcome. So I guess before we start talking, let's announce what our craft is today. Basically, because it's early in the holiday season, we thought we would make some Christmas cards, some holiday cards, because who knows if we'll be able to travel for the holidays, so we should start sending out stuff now.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically for this craft, there's no real wrong or right way to do it. I have these kind of like pre-made cards, like cardstock that have envelopes that come with it. But you can just use regular paper, because the main point and the main point of a Christmas card is to, just tell someone how you love them, I guess, right? So, or maybe that's Valentine's Day, but like Christmas too, like just
Same energy.
it's the thought that counts, right? Especially in this pandemic where people don't have jobs. Getting creative with our holiday gifts and messages is
important.
Yes, exactly. So I'm gonna just I'll show what I have.
Okay.
I have a lot of random things, but I have these little washi tapes.
Oh, you're gonna be making like an elite card, and I'm gonna be over here scrapping everyone I do. I'm gonna be exposed as the perfectionist that I am.
No, it's gonna be good. I'm gonna challenge you to not try to make it perfect. Try to make a C+ card, because that is something I'm sure we'll get into when we talk about dance and life outside of dance. But
Yes.
Yeah, that's something. Well, you're probably working on it more than me, but definitely I've learned recently that being a perfectionist is not the move,
No, it's
unfortunately.
not, because it does exist, and so it's really just exhausting, and it doesn't have to be.
Yeah. Okay, this is one of my favorite washi tapes. Look at these little hedgehogs.
Oh, so cute.
Aren't they so cute? Okay, so while we start doing this, because there's not really any instructions or anything that I need to give you, it's just kind of like get into the Christmas spirit, get into the holiday
I'm
vibes.
ready. My apartment is decorated. I'm ready.
Okay, amazing. So while we do this, and then let's not show each other what it looks like until we finish it.
Okay.
And
I'm nervous.
no, it's gonna be good. And while we're doing this, I'd love to hear a little bit about your dance journey. I know bits and pieces, but tell the
Yeah.
viewers and the listeners a little bit
Oh my,
about where you're from and all of that stuff.
I've been all over the place. I started dancing when I was technically like 2 years old because mom put me in it. Classic, of course. And I was at Walnut Hill School in Massachusetts, which is like hardcore ballet.
I didn't know
Um,
you went to Walnut Hill.
I did. I was in the Nutcracker. I was a Polly Chanel.
I
It was
almost auditioned for that one year, but it was far away for me to get to, so I didn't do it.
yeah, it wasn't. It was in like two towns over, but yeah, super ballet heavy. I was in the Nutcracker, did the whole shebang. I was only doing like ballet and modern when I started out. And then I realized I wanted to do more than that. I wanted to do hip hop, jazz, tap, all the things because I love dancing so much. So I went to, it was just a recreational studio in Medfield, Massachusetts, which is the town over. I was there for 7 years. It was super recreational. I did all the things: hip hop, ballet, tap, jazz, modern. One end of the year recital, nothing too special, but I loved it. I met like two of my best friends there. And then I realized I kind of wanted to get a bit more serious about it. So I auditioned for this like pre-professional company called Project Moves in Brockton, Mass, which is part of the Gold School studio. And I got in, which is really exciting because there's some crazy, awesome dancers that have come out of there. Tice, Diorio, Kenny Warmold, the Guzman, Twin
Seriously.
Florence, like some crazy, awesome dancers have gone through there. So I was really excited. I was really nervous because I had only been doing recreational dancing for 7 years, but so it was a big leap. But I did that all through high school, and that was mainly where I like realized I wanted to do it definitely professionally. Except we didn't really do a lot of hip hop there, and I didn't really like I didn't get introduced to that, but I knew I loved it because I would always like learn tutorials online of hip hop stuff because we didn't have much of it there. But it was awesome. I improved so much while I was there. And then I went to UArts in Philly for 1 year, tried out the college thing just to see if that was, if I wanted to do that. It's a great program, but it wasn't really for me. It was more like postmodern ballet stuff, still not that much hip hop. But I met like one of my best friends there, and I'm really glad I went because it made me realize what I wanted to do. So then straight from there, I only did a year there, and then I moved to New York, did the professional semester as many guests
I
on.
swear this is not sponsored by ProSem. Maybe I should tell them that I've had 100 million alumni of their program on my show.
That's so funny. I know, like every guest you've had. Did ProSem, loved it for getting me introduced to street styles and all that stuff because I doing a lot of like contemporary fusion. It's actually funny that I chose that clip to play because that was the first time I like did contemporary class in like years. but it was really fun. Shout out Lex. And then, yeah, I got introduced to so many awesome teachers. I put my concentration as like mainly hip hop and street styles because it was very quick realization that that is the avenue I wanted to go, the more commercial route. So I was taking 12 classes a day during that. And then when that was up, I got my own apartment in New York and I kept training with the people I was training with during ProSem, just making connections, getting better. I really kind of felt late to the game in hip hop because I had kind of just started it when I moved to New York, and then all my friends that I had made had kind of already been in the scene for a while. So I felt like I had a lot of catching up to do. But so happy I did that. And then towards the end of my New York experience, I just realized I wanted a change of scene, change of energy, change of people, all the things. So I decided to make the big move out to LA, which was super daunting, but also the best thing I could have done for myself. Not because I thought I was like ready for like to like start doing jobs all the time and like be in LA, but just because there were so many people I wanted to train with out here, and it was just it was such a good move on my part.
It's definitely such a different energy and
different.
It's such a different vibe out there than it is in New York. Like
Yeah,
they both have
and
their pros and cons, probably, but
it gets a bad rep for some reason, and I think it only gets a bad rep, I'm learning, because it's just a lot tougher to make friends because you don't have, the benefits of New York where you're all hanging out after class and then you all can like walk and go get food together and then you all walk to the train together. It's like a lot easier to just like make friends in New York in the dance scene because you can hang out at the studios, you can whatever. But in LA, it's just, I think it gets the bad rep because it's just, you have to really put in the work to like make good friends here, which is no problem for me because I've jumped around studios and schools and places my whole life. So that's not really something that I struggle with. But I know a lot of people do. So I bet that is the reason for that.
yeah, I feel like I hear a lot of people like their first year in LA is really hard because it's like you're meeting all these people but then it seems like people in LA really find out who their people are. And then you kind of stick to that, like, it might be a smaller group than what it is in New York, but you know that those people are your people.
That is exactly correct. And I love that. I've always had a small circle. I like having a small circle. It's just how I've always been. So it's been really good for me, and I just love the beach. I love warm weather. I love who I get to train from and with out here.
Yeah,
like,
there's just so much more. There's so many more options, I feel like, out there. Like,
yeah, definitely.
There's so many people.
There's so many people, and you don't get stuck. I feel like when I was in New York, I got a little stuck, and I
like doing the same thing, taking the same teachers.
Yeah, exactly. And I definitely like pick wisely of who I take out here too, but there's just when I want to get out of that, it's way easier too than when I was in New York and doing that. I felt like if I didn't want to go to class one day, I was like missing out on something, and it was just like I was just in a bad headspace. So out here, I kind of have like the room to breathe and kind of do whatever I want. I have so many other little like hobbies and passions that I love, so it's good for me.
Yeah, I love that. And it's definitely, I think, knowing you personally and seeing you kind of just blossom, and it's clear that like LA is like the place that you need to be. So I'm glad that you found that.
Thank you. Me too. I'm so happy. I feel like I feel more myself than I've ever felt. So that's really important.
That's so good to hear, because yeah, it's definitely like, I don't know, that's really hard. Like I think a lot of people forget about the not the like the mental stuff of it. That doesn't sound right. But like when someone moves to LA, for example, it's like you think about it, it's like, oh, I'm moving there like to dance and I'm gonna like my career and but at the same time, like you still have to have a life outside of your career. You have to,
Yeah.
and it's the same thing about moving to New York. It's like
Mhm.
usually the reason that someone is moving to one of these cities is the career reason, but it's important to make sure that the whole rest of your life fits in that place as well.
Exactly, exactly. And I love New York. Like I miss New York so much. I can totally see myself living there again one day, but for now, this is where I need to be.
Yeah, I love that.
My sanity and all other things.
Oh, the weather is also so nice. I'm jealous that you get to go to the beach so often.
I can go to the beach whenever I want. It's the best. I love the beach. Even when it's like not a great beach weather day, you can just go in your sweatpants and just enjoy it. So
I
it's
love that.
awesome. There's mountains, like there's just so much to do here.
So I was wondering, because I don't know. I
Okay.
mean, I'm sure I've asked you this before, but I wanted it on record. I wanted
Oh,
to
wow.
talk about because I actually haven't talked to a lot of people about this, but like, what are some of your dreams in dance and like in that kind of industry world? Like, what are some of the things that if you could just pick any dance job or any goal that you could ever have, like, what are some of those things?
I don't really have like specific. My goals are more oriented right now. At least they change all the time because my brain moves at a million miles a minute. But it's more who I want to work with. Like I have a lot of goals of working with certain people out here, like
Like choreographers or artists?
choreographers
Mm,
and artists too. Those feel a little
yeah,
farther away right now, but like I want to work so badly for Brian and Scott, for Marty Kudelka, for Candace, for like there's just a lot. My goal I'm trying to keep my goals. I learned it's easier if I keep them like on the not the smaller scale, but in terms of my reach, it's easier for me to like focus on ones that are more attainable and that I can kind of do things every week for, like make
yeah.
those connections better and stronger, and even just like concept videos of people I would want to work for, like just stuff like that. But on the big scale, I love the stage. I'm a stage junkie, so going on tour eventually one day would be the best thing ever. I just would have so much fun. And traveling, oh my gosh,
Mm,
that's the best excuse to travel. Um, yeah, but they change all the time. Like they every time I like learn something new about myself, or I get something that I didn't know I could, or like think I could, or some teacher or choreographer like kind of scoops me under their wing and wants to. I just like it's always changing, kind of, because I don't often quite know what I'm capable of, and so yeah, hopefully they'll just stay big and I can keep trucking towards them, but they are literally always changing.
yeah. And what is one of your like favorite things that you've done? Um, it doesn't have to be like a paid job, but any sort of like dance opportunity. Like, what is like your favorite dance memory that you have?
Well, that's a tough question.
I know.
Um,
I guess saying favorite, it doesn't have to be your favorite. It can just be like one that you like. Because I feel like saying like favorite puts a lot of pressure on it.
True. I think, well, right when I moved out here, I got to dance for my friend Sophia Black, who's a singer. with my friend Shannon and Trevor Takamoto and Hugh choreographed that. And so I got like a little taste of that process and like dancing for an artist. And it was also with all people that like I already knew and loved. And that was pretty cool because I didn't quite feel ready for that when that opportunity presented itself. But everyone else did. So I trusted myself and I trusted the fact that I was asked for a reason. And
Yes.
that was, I don't know, dancing for an artist is so cool. So fun. Even on that like smaller scale, it's so fun because the crowd like gets just as excited about the dancers as like when you're like hyping everyone. Like everyone's always just so into it when the choreography's good, music's good. Everyone's just like that. That probably so far has been one of my favorite moments.
Yeah. I can't even remember what it's like to be on stage with like the energy of an audience. Like it feels like it's been so long.
No, it has been.
It'll come back one day.
Yes, hopefully. Oh my gosh. I bought tickets to Justin Bieber's tour for next year, and I just don't think it's going to happen. And I'm
when is that supposed to happen?
a little bummed about it. The
It's
tickets
supposed to
I
be
bought
2021.
are for August, but it just seems like
Well, it could happen.
it could.
August.
It
That's
could.
like so long from now.
True. Hopefully the U.S. can get its shit together.
Yeah, literally. Well, on that note, let's do first before I do this, how is your card going? Are you feeling inspired or are you feeling stressed out?
You know me too well. I'm doing okay right now.
Okay, that's good.
Just going slow and steady. I'm not good at multitasking, so every time I've trailed off in a thought, I forget that I'm doing this crap. But
don't worry, you got this. Okay, well now it's time for Would You Rather.
That sound effect was everything.
Okay, so as you know, because you are the number one fan for this show, now is the time where we do Would You Rather. Nothing is too crazy because it's a pre-made game. But if anyone is watching, they can comment what they would rather do. And even if you're watching this after the fact, definitely let us know what you would rather do. So, I'm pick these. Would you rather have bowling balls for hands or tennis balls for fingers? Oh, it's a very like ball hand heavy question.
Ugh.
Neither of those are ideal.
Bowling ball. I feel like I have to do the tennis balls only because there's a little bit more functionality.
Yeah, I think I would pick that too.
But like, wouldn't be very excited about it.
Okay. Would you rather have the hiccups for 2 hours every day or have to walk backwards everywhere?
I kind of do have the hiccups all the time, so.
That's so interesting.
I know, it's so annoying. It's anytime I eat a meal, immediately afterwards, I have hiccups, like without fail.
Really? Yeah. If I get hiccups one time in the day, I always get them a second time later in the day. Like I never have hiccups just once in one day, but there's a lot of days where I don't have hiccups. But I always get them twice. It's so weird. I need to do some research. If anyone knows about hiccups, let us know because I don't understand them.
Hiccups they are so annoying. They just interrupt everything.
Ooh, okay. This is the last one. Would you rather have everything you touch turn to ice or always have to use a stranger's toothbrush to clean your teeth?
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
Ooh, I know what I'm picking.
What was the first one?
Have everything you touch turn to ice.
I have to do that one because
I couldn't use a stranger's
I feel
toothbrush.
like I'm kind of mad that I hesitated as long as I did because definitely would not ever pick that.
Oh, that just gives me the creeps. Blech. Oh my gosh, I like have chills.
Ick, ick.
Disgusting. Well, on that note,
Yeah.
I'd love to talk about some of your passions outside of dance. You have a lot, and I feel
I
like you
do.
have a really good balance of being a human and also being a dancer. I just dropped all of the cards on the floor.
That is the only way I know how. Oh.
The only way you know how is.
Just smiling. I was like,
That's it. Cool,
that's
cool,
the
cool, cool.
no, I do. Because I have like this is gonna sound interesting, but I have kind of like a love-hate relationship with dance. Um, not in like an unhealthy way. I think kind of in a healthy way actually. Just because I'm pretty hard on myself, as you know. So sometimes I need to just step away. But there's so many things I love to do. In terms of like passions, if I was not dancing and doing the whole dance thing, I would definitely go the astronaut route because
Interesting. I didn't know that about you.
really, that's interesting. That's like my biggest. That's
Yeah, I know.
why.
I knew you got the astronaut tattoo, but I didn't know that it was like you want to be an astronaut.
Oh yeah, I have a such an infatuation with space and the moon and just everything about that. Like I so badly would love to go up into space. Like one day.
Wow.
It's, well, maybe once I've done everything I want to do with dance, I could
I
still have
mean,
time.
by that time, I mean, there has to be some time in our lifetime where it might be really expensive, but isn't that like a thing that's happening now? Like,
Yes, you can. They're gonna start taking like tourists up into space pretty soon, actually. But it's like costs millions and millions of
oh
dollars
my
to do.
gosh, that's what's his face? The Tesla guy, right? What's his
Elon,
name? He put a Tesla in space, right? Is that true? He like had a Tesla, like the car in space.
I
I
wouldn't be
might have
surprised.
made that up. I
Like
need to
some,
fact check that.
I'm not sure about that. I know he does want to take people into space. I don't know about the Tesla thing,
That is
but
so cool. I didn't know that. That's so funny. I mean, it's not funny, it's very interesting. I took astronomy my first semester of college, and it
did you
was
really?
much harder than I anticipated because there's a lot of math.
You need to like. Oh my gosh, you need to be
Astronauts
able
are
to
like super smart.
so smart. You need to be able to swallow information from like everything. Um, it's kind of crazy.
Well,
I don't even
maybe
know.
one day you'll be able to go up in space. That'll be so cool.
I just like the thing with that is I know I would come back from that experience with just like such a new perspective on just like seeing the earth from all the way up. I don't know. I feel like it would just like change me.
Oh, for sure. It's like seems so unbelievable. Like I can't even
I
imagine
know.
being in space and like how it feels like to not feel gravity.
I know.
Have you ever been to one of those like anti-gravity chamber
No, but I
things?
would absolutely love to. I
That would
am
be
so
so cool.
intrigued by how that feels and like what that is like. I've been watching because they just sent two, no, four American astronauts up to the International Space Station, and they were live streaming it. So I was watching the whole thing, and it's just like it's so interesting to me. It's
Yeah.
so cool. but that's a big one. But in terms of like other hobbies that I love to do on my day to day, I learned how to do a lot of things this year. I learned how to skateboard.
Yeah, I was gonna
Which
say you've learned so many things just in the time that you've been in LA. Like,
I know.
it's amazing.
And I love it. I just like there's so many things I want to like just be able to do. Skateboard, surf. I haven't been doing that recently, but I have a surfboard and I have done that. I want to get better at that, and I want to do that more often, like I used to. So scary, but so much fun. I love the ocean. That's
Uh,
my other tattoo is of a stingray, manta
oh
ray.
yeah.
Just because I love the ocean equally as much as I do space. So surfing is another one. I love playing tennis. I've played tennis since I was 4 years old. Skiing, I've done since I was a little kid. Oh, I miss skiing so much. I love just like that's like an unreal feeling. If you've ever been skiing, you know.
I've only been skiing. The last time I went skiing was in fourth grade. So I don't think I ever got to the point of what you were probably feeling because I was still like pizza stopping when I
Got it.
actually no, I think I graduated to the side stop, but I was like still on the kiddie mountain.
That's incredible. You know, skiing is so it's such a
It's so
unique.
beautiful. I feel like the only I remember it being like so quiet and still, even though there were so many people around, like moving fast around you. Like something about just being like in the snow and in nature. It just felt very calm.
In the mountains and like go it's just beautiful. Like it's just it is unlike any other sport ever. Now that I'm listing like this sports that I like prefer, it's very specific.
It's like you like to
Right?
like move. It's interesting that
Yeah.
like the all the things that you're talking about are like rolling waves, like skiing
Yeah.
downhill. I mean, I wonder if that has something to do with like, because as a dancer, you're still, I think being a dancer is like you are a dancer in all aspects of your life. So it makes sense that
Yeah.
the
I
other
agree.
things outside of dance, like that you're passionate about, are still creative and also still involve movement. And
Yeah,
yeah, that makes
definitely.
sense. And that's really cool. I never
Yeah.
like made that connection before.
Oh yeah. No, that's so true.
Yeah.
I love it. There's just like so many I'm like always that's how I keep my relationship with dance healthy is by doing all these other things as well
Yeah.
because it brings in perspective and like I want to live my life to if there's something I want to do I want to go do it. I want to try I want to get good at it. I want to try it. I want to that's just like how I've always been. So I love that living in LA allows me to try all these things and do them whenever I want.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Do you find that people in LA, like I'm interested to know if, because you've lived in both New York and LA, if people in LA are more likely to do things outside of dance than in New York or not? Because I feel like in New York, it might just be what I see, but like I feel like I experience dancers in New York who are obsessed with dance and that's like all they do. And I don't know if that's a New York thing or just a very common dance thing.
I feel like that's a dance thing. I don't really notice besides myself and I'm thinking about it besides myself. I don't really notice other people that I know here doing much else. It seems like, well, I mean, all we can see is what people post on Instagram, and
Right.
so people be people very well could be doing all these things. But from what I noticed, it seems like people are always just dancing, which is fine if that works for you and you have a good, you like, that works for you, go off. Um, I would literally go crazy if that's
I
all
feel
I
like
was
maybe also the people in LA, like I'm trying to think about the people that I know in LA, it's usually like they're doing a job, so they can't take class. I think it's different about, I think
Yeah,
about class, I think it's probably pretty different. But yeah,
I
because
agree with that.
you can't take class if you're on tour. So then when you come back, you probably take a lot of class because you haven't been
Right.
in class. But you also probably are able to do other things while you're like on a job, or you kind of like have that like post job relearning about yourself kind of situation. I feel like it's probably more
Yeah,
common that people are working more in LA than they are probably here, because I feel like in New York it's such a small select group of people who do most of the jobs, at least in
that's
the
true.
commercial industry.
That's true. And here it's like, there's such a huge circle of of working dancers out here, um, which is cool. It makes it a little tougher to get into those. Um,
Yeah.
but just like anything, you've got to put in the time, you got to put in the work. So when I know I haven't been putting all my energy and effort into dance for a period of time, I'm aware of it, and I know that to jump back in, I'm gonna have to like really, really focus and make that my priority. I know that's what I have to do in order to actually really make sure I do what I want to do with dance. But I always find time to do the other stuff that I
Yeah.
want to do, be
I feel
myself.
like that's so important. Like from everyone that I've talked to in the 15 past episodes, it seems that like it just really helps to, I don't know, I mean, it's like absence makes the heart grow fonder. And I think,
Yeah,
I mean, right now it's more frustrating because we don't get to choose to be absent from a lot of stuff. And I think that's more difficult during this quarantine time. But I think it is so important to really like take a step back and be like, am I taking class, or am I dancing because I feel like I have to? Or is it because it's
right.
actually something that I want to do and it's making me excited and I'm growing and learning from it?
Yes. And there is a way as a dancer too, if you are like me and want to do a million things while you're young, like I do. Um, there's ways to work smarter too. Like now I only take class when I really am excited to and want to and excited about whatever class I'm taking. And I take from the people that I want to work for and work with, and I make sure to throw in a variety of styles of the type of thing I want to do. But I know there's also two kind of different types of dancers where some people train and they train just in all styles all the time just to like be the most versatile for themselves and do it that way. And then I feel like there's another group of dancers who really focuses in on just knows what they want to do in terms of like who they want to work for and the jobs they want and stuff, and can really focus on making those connections with those people and staying consistent in those classes. And there's a million, everyone's path is different, there's a million ways to do it, but yeah, and I think people should also remind themselves of that more. Like, you don't have to, as a lot of teachers call it, like, you don't want to be a professional class taker just because if it makes you really happy, yeah, take as many classes as you want if that's the thing that like makes you super happy. But in terms of your training, there's not one right way to train, there's not one right way to work hard, there's not one way to do it and make it. So you can morph your training and your journey and how you want to work to also like do what's best for your life too, not just your career. You know, there's so
Yeah.
many ways there's so many ways to do it.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with all of those things that you just said.
Good.
And, okay, are you done with your card yet?
It's pretty boring, but
Mine's like
I,
kind of ugly, so I'll give you the okay to just, it's okay to do things. That's what I'm trying to do. I know we both like to have things perfect before we do it. You're a little bit more so like that than me because you'll
yeah.
just get rid of something if it's
Oh my
not
God.
perfect.
I will buy like a $40 planner, not like how I set up the first month of things, and throw it in the garbage. It's so bad. Don't be like me.
Yeah, that's like, I'm not like that, but I hold off on like doing things and putting things out there if I don't think it's like really good, which super
Yeah,
it's hard and like in all aspects. It's not just dance, you know.
right.
But so that's why I'm going to show my kind of ugly card with you. Let's do like a
I'm
reveal.
okay.
I only did the
Mine,
outside.
mine is literally nothing. Okay,
Okay, ready?
ready.
3,
Yep.
2, 1. Oh my god, it's cute. I went with the glitter vibe and I regretted it as soon as I put all these big glitters on.
I'm into it. I like it. This is all I did.
And
So
my stamp didn't really stamp properly, but
you're
it's
writing?
okay. No, oh my god, it's a stamp. I didn't write
Oh,
this.
I thought you wrote that. And I was like, you win because this
No, no.
is
If I hand wrote that, then I would I mean, it wasn't a competition, but everyone's a
win.
winner.
First place. You. First
You
prize.
got high platinum, gold,
Oh
silver
my God,
plus.
sparkle, ruby, emeralds, glitter, gold. Yes.
Amazing. Well, it is officially time for
Questions, questions, questions.
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 Okay, so I'm gonna pick randomly one from each category. Hopefully, they are ones that we haven't done. Actually, that one was a bad one, so I'm picking a new one. Ooh, okay. Oh, there's one that you might want to skip.
Oh no.
Okay, this one is too similar to the other one. Okay, I've got the cards. Pick a color.
Ooh, pink.
Have you ever been out of the country? That's an easy question.
I have. I've been to, well, is that considered the Virgin Islands?
Yeah, that counts.
Right?
Did you need a passport?
Yes. Oh yeah, and the bitter end. Yeah, I've been out of the country.
Very cool. Do you
I
have
would
a,
like to be out of the country more. I would like to go to Japan and a million places.
if we're ever allowed to leave this country,
Oh my gosh, I
we will
know.
travel.
Yeah, for sure.
Pick a color.
Orange.
What would you eat for your last meal? That's kind of depressing.
For my last meal,
Yeah, like the last meal you'll ever eat.
probably my favorite meal, which is orange
Chicken salad. Oh, I was.
Chicken salad.
You make
No,
that
orange.
egg every week.
Oh my god, no, yeah, macaroni salad. I do
Oh,
love
yeah,
macaroni
that's what
salad.
it is.
Easy to make. Oh, I've learned how to cook this quarantine too, and I'm learning Japanese. I'm forgetting all the things I've been doing.
Oh my gosh, you're doing amazing things.
I'm just trying to take advantage of this time. Um, but yeah, orange chicken and white rice, most likely from Panda Express because that is that will never fail.
I don't know if I've ever been to Panda Express. Maybe one time.
You have to
Yeah.
go. It's so good. Okay, blue.
Describe what your crush looks like.
Oh no.
Drama. You can be very vague.
Okay.
That's the one I was like, this is the most scandalous question that's ever come out of this deck. Oh my goodness.
Of course I get it. Well, nah, let's see. I feel like everything I would say is so specific.
It could be like your ideal crush. Like it doesn't have to be a real person.
Okay. I'm a bit like all the few guys that I have had like sort of long term things with all look so different. But they
Yeah.
all have very similar personality traits and like how they present themselves and all that.
Hmm.
We love confident. I really, it seems I go for the toxic ones. That's just always been how it is. Not by choice. Um, they just intrigue me. My roommate actually cracked the code. She was like, "You always just like get hooked on the ones that are like big like or that are a little mysterious and like question marks and
Interesting.
not everyone knows." I'm like, "Yeah, because like
Maybe
I
you
don't want
should just be a detective and not date those bad men.
exactly,
Or
exactly."
boys. Let's call them boys.
Boys, yeah, heavy
Scandal.
on the boys. Yeah, I did not even get it right.
That wasn't the sound I meant, but it's fine.
That's okay.
Okay, second to last question. What do
Okay.
you always procrastinate?
What do I always procrastinate? Um, Laundry. Well, I've gotten better at that actually in quarantine.
Well,
But
you
I think it's
have
because
laundry in your
yeah,
apartment, which is
and I did not used to have a washer dryer in where I lived. That was something I definitely put off. No, there's definitely other. I put off. I don't know. I used to be a big procrastinator. I'm not so much anymore.
that's good.
I've like conquered that. Conquered
Wow.
that a little
Must be
bit.
nice. Must be nice.
It's not just getting back to people.
Okay, yeah. That's
I'm
sometimes
getting back.
necessary for your sanity.
Yeah, that I need to do better with that sometimes. But yeah, I've kind of quarantine's kind of corrected that flaw for me, which is nice.
Nice. Okay, the last question. What brings out your most creative self?
Oh my gosh. Good question. I think that's a lame answer. Hold on, give me a sec to sit on that. Once again, I think my answer to that changes a lot. I go through such waves and phases all the time, like in with everything. Um, this is kind of a lame answer, but like I just like love music and I love to sing. And if there was one thing I could wish for in this world, it would be to have golden vocal cords because I love writing. Like I love trying to like sit down. I don't know if I've even told you this and like write little songs.
I think you told me you wrote a song in quarantine, but you never played it for
I did.
me.
I've written a couple because I know like enough chords on the guitar to kind of play with that, but I'm always like really proud of myself when I can actually do that. And I just, music, like, I don't know. That's what I can't, like, if I, in terms of training, I don't do this, but in terms of, like, sometimes my certain class taking does depend on the music I would like to dance to that night. And when I freestyle, I can't just like throw on any song. Like I have a very, I don't know, I get like hooked on song. I don't know. This is not really a straight answer to this question,
That's
but
okay.
in terms of all the things, probably like as a vague answer, just like music and yeah, yeah.
That counts.
I
That
think
counts.
so. Changes though. Like sometimes I get really into like fashion. I get really into all these different things, like wanting to make vlogs. I don't know. I'm a mess. I'm all over the place all the time. Like, I'm constantly
But I feel
changing.
like a constant is that you are very creative. It's just you're creative in a lot of different ways, and then, you figure out different things that you want to do. So I don't think that
Yeah.
that's a mess. I think that that is you being creative, like trying different things. That might be what makes you most creative.
I like try everything. I like want to do everything.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's good. That's not a bad thing. Don't say it like it's a bad thing.
I'm like, I don't know.
No, that is great. Well, if you have anything that you would like to plug, I have your Instagram down below for our visual viewers, but for our audio viewers, or our audio listeners, not our audio viewers, why don't you tell them what your Instagram is and where they can find you?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram as Kate's One. That is KATEESS1. And
Nice.
that's really all I have to plug. I'm not really on anything else.
Well, you have something else that you do with your roommate that is also another passion that you have outside of dance that I
Oh my
totally forgot to even bring up.
Whoa, yeah. Me and my roommate have a podcast called No Way, um, because we just are flabbergasted always by anything and everything, and we're always laughing and just like, so we decided to start a podcast. We have, I think, like 10 or so episodes up. Um, that was
They're
something
very
that
fun.
has gotten better as we have done it multiple times now. But it's really fun. It's really just how we like conversations we have on the day to day that we think are funny or intriguing and stories and stuff. So you check that out. That's on everything. That's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the things. If you're
Yay!
laugh a little.
Yeah, it's very fun. And they have really great art, podcast art. What's that called?
Oh
Like
yes,
a
shout out to
picture.
Ashley Bland for that.
Yeah,
She is the mind behind that artwork.
very cool. And then for myself, you can obviously find me here on YouTube if you're watching at Essentially Haley. There's also the Instagram for Essentially Haley. Please subscribe. I still am saying that I'd like to get 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. And I know that it's December 2nd, and that is a hefty, hefty ask because I think we're at 138 maybe.
We got
Maybe,
this. Come on, guys.
who knows? I also
Subscribe.
officially started the Instagram for Dancers Doing Stuff. So I figured it would just be easier so that way I can share all of the little audio clips and the videos of people dancing, because I know for people who listen to the podcast, you don't get to see the videos of my awesome guests dancing, so I can share those there. So definitely check that out. It's just Dancers Doing Stuff. And if you want to see my personal stuff, you can see me at Haley Grove on Instagram. So I think with that...
I also, really quickly, just want to say how proud I am of you for doing all this, because me and Haley talk a lot, and she's just like had these ideas flowing forever, and I just, the whole thing is, you're just doing it like the best way that Haley Grove would do this, and it's really great, and it's happening, and you're doing it, and I'm just excited about it.
Yay!
For you.
Well, you are the biggest fan and the biggest supporter of this show and me.
Come watch with me. Good time.
She's always in the comments. You've probably seen her. I drag them in so that people can see the comments.
Support your friends.
She even commented on this, her own interview. See here.
I did. Just checking in with myself.
Amazing. Support your friends, support artists, support small businesses.
Before they blow up.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, it was great talking to you. I know I'll talk to you probably 45 times before the day ends. But have a great day. Thank you, everyone who is watching. Show us your Christmas cards or your holiday cards if you make any. Tag us. Do better than us. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.